Hello friends, welcome to the 29th session of Hybris tutorial. In this session, we are going to learn about sending the email with attachment in Hybris. Guys, in our previous video, we had already learned how to send an email in Hybris using the business process. Guys, if you have not watched that video, you should watch that video. The link of video is given in the description box as well as on the top right corner in the card section. So you can watch that video and can see how to create an email process from the very scratch. But in this video, guys, we are going to show you how to send an email with attachment using the business process. Guys, please be aware that Hybris doesn't support the email functionality with attachment out of box. For that, we need to do some customizations. What all customizations we need to do that we are going to discuss in this video. Guys, I think this video will be very informative for you. Before starting anything, guys, I just want to remind you the functionality, email functionality, which we had developed in the chapter 28 of this Hybris learning session. There we had developed a logic. There we had developed a logic. If my cart total crosses to 200 at that time, I will be sending an email to the customer. If I can just show you all the code files which we had written to develop this functionality. So if I can just show you the cart page controller, which was the starting point of our functionalities. Over here, guys, we do have this functionality show cart. In this API, guys, we made a check like if the customer is a registered customer and if the customer card total exceeds 200, at that time we were publishing one event, and this was the event class which we had created, Hybris Tube email event. In this, we were just setting the cart model, store, site, and currency. If we can show you, this is the Hybris Tube email event.java which we had created. And we had created a corresponding listener class as well. So if I can just show you the listener class, corresponding listener class which we had created. So this is the listener class which we had created, and once we call the event from the cart page controller, this listener automatically listens the event, and this method on-site event method gets called automatically, right? So this is the listener which we had developed, which is extending the abstract accelerator site event listener. And once the flow comes into the on-site event, over here, guys, we were creating the business process, right? And then we were setting some important parameters like card, currency, store, sites, and language. So this is what we were doing. This is what we were doing in the Hybris Tube email process model, right? We will be discussing now these two things, how we were creating this process. For that, we had created a Hybris Tube email process.xml. This is the new file which we had created. In this file, you can see this is the name of the process, and this is the starting action, generate Hybris Tube email. This is the action which we had created, right? So this is what we did. And also, guys, what we did one more thing, we created one more attribute cart into this Hybris Tube email process. We created a new item type Hybris Tube email process, and there we created one attribute cart. If I can just show you the items.xml file, you can see in the items.xml file in the Hybris Tube email process, you can see this is the Hybris Tube email process. Over here, guys, we had created this new item type with a new attribute. You can see this is the new attribute. We had created a cart attribute which is of type abstract order, And this Hybris Tube email process used to extend the storefront customer process. And I had already shown you in the previous video, this storefront customer process ultimately extends to the business process, right? So this is what we had done. So this is the listener class which we had created, and over here you can see we were creating the business process and then we were starting the process. This is what we had done. And guys, you can see once this process is created and this process is started, over here guys we have multiple actions. You can see this is the first action we had created, generate Hybris Tube email process. And guys, this is the bean generate Hybris Tube email action, and the corresponding mapping should be given into the corresponding spring.xml. If I can just search like this, bean id is equal like this, generate Hybris Tube email action. If I just try to search this into the XML, you will see that there is a mapping over here in training course spring.xml, and which is extending the abstract generate email action. There we had declared one property which is basically the Hybris Tube email template, and this template mapping we had given into our impacts which I had shown you in my previous video. And guys, this abstract generate email action is very important action, because over here only we are generating the whole skeleton, right? Over here only we are generating like what should be the subject, what should be the body of the email. Everything we are doing in this action only. And for this video as well, we will be basically customizing this flow only, that I am going to show you now what we are going to do, why we are not able to send the email with attachment in Hybris using the out of box functionality, that I am going to tell you. So if I just open this action, abstract generate email action, if I just try to search the definition of this bean, like this, bean id is equal to this, you will see that here guys, in the training course spring.xml, over here we have defined this abstract generate email action, right? So you can see, so this is the class name generate email action. If I can just open this guys, this is the generate email action, and over here guys we do have this overridden method execute action. So this is very important flow. Over here guys we are generating the basically the skeleton of our email. Over here only we will be generating the skeleton, like what is should be the subject, what should be the body. If I can just show you, you can see this is the API. Over here only you can see we are generating subject, we are generating body, everything we are doing over here. But you must be seeing over here we don't have any logic to generate the attachment with email. So for that only guys we will be basically customizing this logic. I will be basically creating a new bean which I will be basically extending this default email generate service.java only, right? So that my new bean that I'm going to create, that will extend this default email generation service.java, and there I will override this generate method, and in that method only I will be basically writing the logic for attaching the attachment as well. So I hope you understand why it is not possible to generate email with attachment using Hybris out of box functionality, because in this method, in this API, there is no logic written for creating an attachment with email. So we will be basically overriding this logic or customizing this logic so that we can generate an attachment with email as well. I hope you understand how this is working. So to generate an email with attachment, what we will do, what all steps we need to do, that I am going to discuss with you. So for that, firstly, we will be doing in this training core items.xml. In this file, we need to do a relationship mapping with the business process and email attachment. You will see we have a one email attachment .java already, and there should be a corresponding bean as well. Similarly, we do have a business process, and you know better always all type of processes, our custom item type Hybris Tube email process which we have created over here. This is also extending the business process object only. As I told, this is extending storefront customer process, and this storefront customer process ultimately extends the business process only. I had shown you this part in my last video. You can check if you still not clear how the storefront customer process is extending the business process. But ultimately, Hybris Tube email process will also extends to the business process. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a relationship, one to many relationship between the business process and email attachment. So how we are going to create a one to many relationship between a business process, that we are going to define over here. As you know already, in our items.xml, we need to maintain orders of all elements. For example, in collection type, then we have enums, then we do have maps, then we do have relations, but we cannot change the order of these elements. If I just try to define this, I mean relation over here, this will not work. Over here, if I just try to define the relationship over here, this will not work. You will see that system will throw an error. You can see system is not accepting this, but I have to create this relationship after the enum type. As you can see over here, only I will be creating the relationship. How I will be creating the relations, you can see this is the relations tag I have used, and you can see over here it is not throwing an error. So what type of relation between the business process and email attachment we are going to create? So this relationship should look like this. You can see this is the relation we have defined between the business process and email attachment. As you can see, there is one to many relationship between the business process and email attachment. So this is what you have to do, and once we have created this relationship, then what we will do in the business process object in the event listener, you can see in the event listener over here only, guys, I will be setting like this: Hybris Tube email process model dot set attachment, and over here then I will be creating a object of attachment. But this is basically what I have to do. How I will be creating object of attachment, that I will be using some output stream object that we use basically in our Java concept. But don't worry, I will be showing you that as well. But why we created this object in items.xml, why we created this relationship, that I just wanted to tell you. If we have created this relationship, then in the email listener, in our listener class over here, I will be doing something like Hybris Tube email process model dot set attachment, right? And over here I will be basically attach my object. This is what I am going to do. But since we have created this new relation, we need a and all. So how we will be doing the and all? So for that, I will go to the command line. I am already, my server is up and running, so I will just stop this server. So you can see I'm stopping my server by just pressing the Control C, and then I'm writing CLS to clear my screen. And then I will be firing firstly this command: send or set on environment dot bat. After I do just and all. So guys, once this end all command is finished, then I will be refreshing the platform extension so that the corresponding changes also get reflected. Right, so let's wait for the build to get completed, then we will proceed with the next steps. So guys, you can see now end all command has been finished successfully. Now I am going to my platform extension and I will refresh the platform extension. You can see this is my platform extension. So I will just right click over here and then I will just refresh this. So once I refresh this platform extension, guys, you will see that in the Hybris Tube email process model, in the Hybris Tube email process model, you will see that over here, guys, I will be able to get one object related to our new attribute which we had created in business process, which should be get attachment. How I will be doing, I will be just pressing Control O once more, and you can see this is the new object which we have got in our business process model. If I can just show you, this is the new a new getter or setter which have been created, or new attribute attachment has been created. Why it is show? Because we had given a one to many relationship in our items.xml. Over here you can see, so it means always once you give the one to many relationship, always in the one side, always in the one side where the cardinality is 1, at that time a attribute of many gets created in one side. As you can see in the business process model, in the business process model we get one attribute related to the email attachment. This one attachments, you can see this is the data attribute attachment which is there in business process model, and business process model is at one side. So I hope this is clear to you why we created one object, or why we created this type of relationship. Because once we created this one to many relationship, now I have this object get attachment or set attachment, and this object I am going to use in our further course, where I will be setting like model dot set attachment. This is what I am going to do in our listener class. Over here I will be setting like Hybris Tube email process model dot set attachment. This is what I am going to do, right? So I hope this is clear to you. But guys, I showed you one thing, like in our Hybris Tube email process.xml, I told you like this is the generate Hybris Tube email action, and for that flow was like it was ultimately calling this generate email action, right? Over here I was telling you like this is the call where we are creating the whole email skeleton, the body and everything, and this was the same class where we were doing all these things. And I was telling like over here we are not doing any task related to the attachment, and that is why I was saying like we will be basically creating one more class which we will be basically, that class will be basically extending this default email generation service. Now I am going to create a new class which will be basically extending this default email generation service. So how I will be doing? I will be doing that. I will be creating one more class with the name Hybris Tube attachment email generation service, which will be basically extending this class only, default email generation service only. And in that new class, I will be basically overriding this method. And in this method only, I will be writing my logic to, create attachment, that I am going to show you how I will be doing, right? So for that, what I will be doing, guys, in our training core extension in the SRC over here, guys, I will be firstly creating a new package like this. Over here, I will just right click and then I will like new, and then I will select the package. Right over here, I will be creating my package de.hybris.training core email. Right, this is the new package I have created, and inside this package only, guys, I will be creating my new class which will be basically extending the default email generation service. Right, so how I will be creating a new class? So I will select this and then I will give this name Hybris Tube attachment email generation service. This is the name of the class I have given. So you can see I have created this class, and guys, this class will be basically as extending this default email generation service. As you can see, I'm extending this with default email generation. Right, you can see I am extending. I have just pressed the control and space, and once I press the control and space, you will see that over here we have got our class. So you can see I have extended this default email generation service. Right over here, guys, what I will do, I will be taking the firstly taking model service. So I will write like this: private model service. Why I am taking this? Because I will be using this model service object to save the attachment object. So I will write like this: model service, right? And then we can, obviously, create one logger as well. So this should be the model service. Then what I will do, I will write private static final logger, so that I can log some of my important attributes. So it will look like something like this: logger. I will use the Apache one. Do we have anyone Apache? I think this one is the need. Log is equal to logger dot get logger. Right. So this one is the name. Then I will just give the class name. Right, I will just copy this and write like this: dot class. Right, so this is how we initialize a logger object. Then, guys, as I told, this is extending default email generation service, and over here in this default email generation service, I will be overriding the method which is written in the default email generation service, which is basically the generate method. So how I will be doing? Firstly, I will write override. So guys, this is Java concept, so you should be aware like what do you mean by override and overload. But basically this is what I'm going to do. This is email. So basically I will go to over here, and this is the generate method. So I will just copy this template, right, like this only, and then I will just paste over here only like this. Right, this is the same thing we have to do as well. Right, so you can see obviously we will be adding some return statement as well. So firstly, I will be generating the email message model using the super method only. Then we will be doing the customization over that. So super dot generate, right? Then I will write business process. This is obviously email based model. Don't worry, I will be telling you the flow as well, like how these all objects get populated, how our flow will come to this class. I will be explaining you as well. But for now, we are just writing the logic in this class only, and this should be of type email message model. So I will write like this: email message model. Right, so this is email message. I will declare this as a final. Right, so I am declaring it as a final. Then what I will do, I will extract the attachment from the business process. Right, so how we will be how we will be setting the attachment in business process model, that I will be doing basically in my listener class. As I told, over here I will be setting the attachment. What I will be doing here, so I will be basically setting the attachment object over here in the Hybris Tube email process model dot set attachment. And how I will be getting the data for the attachment, for that I will be maintaining one txt file in my local computer that I will be reading through our output streams object. Right, then I will be populating that set attachment that I am going to show you in some time. But I just wanted to show you like from where this business process model will get the attachment object. Over here, guys, what we will be doing, we will be basically firstly extracting from the business process model. We will be extracting the attachment like this. right? And then this should be of type list, right? This should be of type. What I basically do, I will just write like this. I always write like this, then I just correct this. Okay, this should be of type like this should be of type like this is what I basically do. Then I can write like this should be the attachments. And what I do, just write email message dot set attachments. You can see this is the set attachments. Over here I just set this attachment object. I just set this attachment object. So this is what I have to do. Then I will just save this email message object using the get model service. So how I will be doing, firstly I will generate the getters and setters for this model object. So how I will be doing, I have just right click in this class, then I am just going to source and then generate getters and setters. Then I just select all and then I just click over the OK. Once I click over OK, over here you can see getters and setters have been created. Then guys, over here I will be setting this email object. So it will be like this: get model service dot save all email messages. You can see save all email messages. This is what we have to do. I hope this is clear to you what I have done over here, right? Now I will just return this email and message as well. So I will just copy this and will add a return statement. So I think this is what we have to do in this class. So I hope this is clear to you why we have created this email Hybris Tube attachment email generation service. Because in this default email generation service, in this class, in this generate method, we don't have any logic to set the attachment. So for that we just overridden that class, and in this overridden API generate API, we are basically extracting the attachment object from the business process model, right? And then we are just setting that into the email message. This is what we are doing, and this is the new class which you need to create, right? So now we have created this new class. We need to give this give the entry of this new class as well. For that we need to declare this as a bean Hybris Tube attachment email generation service. Need to declare this as a bean as well in our spring.xml file. So how we will be doing, we will be doing like this is the default email generation service. This should also be declared somewhere as a bean in this class only, in this accelerator service only. If I can just show you in our spring.xml, in our spring.xml for this same accelerator service only, in this spring.xml, this is the spring.xml. Over here if I just try to search via alias is equal to like this, if I just try to email generation service, if I just try to like this, you can see this is the class definition, default email generation service definition written over here. Similarly we will be declaring our bean as well, new bean Hybris Tube attachment generation service, but we will be giving the alias name as same of its parent, right? So the parent bean default email generation service, that bean has a alias name this. So for declaring our bean, our custom bean, right, Hybris Tube attachment email generation service, we also need to give the same alias name. So guys, this is very important concept for you as well. You need to override the parent beans multiple times in your project as well. And how you will be overriding some method of parent bean, this is how you have to do. You have to override the method in your class like this Hybris Tube attachment generation service. Over here I have overridden the parent class method, and then we have to declare this new bean something like this. We need to use the same alias of parent class, right? So this is what I am going to do. Now I will be declaring this as a bean. So how I will be doing, I will be just copying this alias name over here, and accordingly I will create or declare this new class as a bean in our spring.xml. So you can see now I'm in the training core, in this resources, in this training core spring.xml. Over here guys, in training core spring.xml only, I will be declaring my bean. So how my bean will look like? So guys, I will write something like this. You can see this is how I have declared my bean. You can see over here I have used the same alias way for the which we had used for the parent bean as well, right? So this is how you need to declare a bean, right? So I hope this is clear to you how you need to declare your customized bean. So guys, this is what you have to do, right? I will just save this class and then we will proceed to next steps. So now what is the next step? As I already told, in our new class Hybris Tube attachment generation service, we were extracting the attachments from the business process model. And during the creation of this class, I had told you like in our listener, we need to set this, right? We need to set this attachment object. So how we will be setting this attachment object, that I am going to show you. So now I will go to our listeners. So I think this is our listener class. Over here guys, we will be setting the attachment object. So how we will be doing that? So guys, over here only I will be setting the attachment object, but how I will be doing, as I already told, firstly I will be maintaining one txt class or one txt file in my local computer. I will be reading that file, and then I will whatever the data present in that local file, that I will be going to send as an attachment in email, right? So my first task is I will be creating one text file into my local computer, then I will read that text file. So what I will do over here guys, you can see this is my setup hybris dev. Over here only I have created one txt class. This is nothing but a very simple txt class, and here I have just written hello best developers, please subscribe to our channel if you like our work. This actually helps us. This is the text, or this is the file which I am going to send to user as an email attachment. So you can see this is the file I have created over here in this path, right? I will just copy this path and then I will use this path to read this file. So how I will be reading that file? So for that guys, what I will do, this is a java concept to read a txt file, but still I will do for this as well. So for that, what I will do, firstly we will be basically, yeah, converting this file as an input stream, right? So how we will be doing, I will write like this: input stream. I will be using this input stream object. I will use io object. So this is the input stream object, right? Then I will just declare this input, right? And then we will be basically writing like this: new file input stream. Here guys, I am just trying to read the file which I have placed in my local computer. So I am just trying to read this file. Now over here guys, I will be just giving the path to my file where I had placed. You can see this is the path. So I will just copy this again and then I will just paste over here in double quotes. So this is what I have to do. So I hope this will work. Yeah, I hope this will work. So what I will do over here, I will give the name of file as well, like this. I will just copy the file name by pressing F2. I have pressed the F2, then I will just copy the name and then I will write like this: Hybris Tube email attachment dot txt, right? So this is what I have to do, right? So this should be of type input, right? So this is what I have done. I hope this is clear to you. This is a very simple thing to read one file. This is a simple java concept. right? Then we will be creating basically a stream object. This should be like new data input stream, right? This should be the stream object, and in the stream object I will be passing this input stream, right? So like this. So this is what I have created. I will take this into my data input stream object only, like this. Right, so guys, I hope you are understanding what I am doing. I am just reading this file and converting this file data into the stream object so that I can, use this. Right, now I will be creating a file name which I am going to send as an attachment into the email. So I am giving a file name. So file name should be like this: Hybris Tube underscore email attachment. Right, I will write like this fun, and then what I will do to make the file name unique every time this email generation happen, I will append the current time as well in millisecond like this, right? And then we will be declaring, okay, this file should be of type txt, right? This is of type txt. So this is what we have to do. Right, so I will just give it as a file name. It should be, I will declare it as a final, right? This should be the concept. So now I have declared the file name, and guys, this is the same file name which I mean, in your email as attachment. This will be the file name hybris tube underscore email attachment underscore func. Then there should be the current time in millisecond appended, and the attachment should be of type txt. You can use any other extension like csv you can use, but it all depends on your requirement. Then I will declare meme type, right? This is also must. So meme type is obviously my txt only. So this is text, right? I'm sending the text attachment, right? This is what I have to do. Then guys, I will be basically using the create attachment object. How I will be doing? Then guys, I will be doing nothing. I will be just using the email service, get email service, right like this, and then create email attachment, right like this. Over here you can see I need to pass the input stream, then file name and meme type. So these are the three things I need to pass. So I will use this, and then firstly I will pass input stream, this one, right? And then second one is the file name, and third one is the meme type. This is what I have to do. So I will just write like this: input stream, and the same thing I will pass, right? And this is what I have to do. And then from here I will use get the object. So this should be the file name. Okay, this should be the file name, right? Then I will just write int a, as I always write. So it is attachment. Then it will automatically tell me no, it is not of type int. It should be of type email attachment model, right? So this is what I have done. So I will declare this as final as well, right? Then what I have to do, then I will be basically creating a list of type email attachment model. So I am creating a list of type email attachment model, right? Like this and like this. Then I will just declare this as a array list, right? I hope you are understanding what I am doing. So once I create or prepare the whole code, then you will understand what I am doing, right? So I will just add this email attachment object, this one object which we have created, right? So this one object we have created, right? So I hope this is clear to you what we have done, right? Now what you have to do, we just have to do only one thing in our Hybris Tube email process model. In our Hybris Tube email process model, I will just set the attachment. I will just set the attachment. Right, you can see this is taking the list of email attachment model, and that is why I had declared this list, right? So I will just write like this. This is what I have to do. But I hope you understand why we were doing all these things, right? We were firstly reading the file from one local file, then we were converting this as an input stream, right? And then we declared this as a list. So because our set attachment was basically taking one object of type list, that is why we were doing all these things. Then we were basically saving this Hybris Tube email process model. This is the same thing. So I hope now you understand this. Now guys, you can see over here in Hybris Tube email process model only, I have set this attachment object, right? And then when this generate email action will run in our new class Hybris Tube attachment email generation service, this flow will come. Flow will not come to this default email generation service, or instead of that it will come to this overridden API. And over here guys, we are using this business process model dot get attachment, which we set in our listener class, and then we are just saving that email message object. So I hope this is clear to you as well, right? So guys, these are the basic changes you need to do to create your email attachment functionality. Now guys, what we will do, we will just build this project again because we have done multiple Java related changes. So I will just fire the all command. So guys, don't worry, I will be sharing you all the relevant code files for this email with attachment functionalities. I will upload all these files in the Google Drive and will share the link with you in the comment section. So you can just download all those files and can integrate all those files in your system as well after watching all this video. So now I will just fire the all command again, and once the all command finishes, then we will bring our server up, and once the server comes up, then what we will do, we will perform the system update. Why we will perform the system update? Because we have created a new relationship, right? So we have created a new relationship, so the corresponding attribute should be there in Hybris Tube email process table as well. That is why we need a system update. But for now, we are waiting for all command to get finished. This will take around 15 minutes to get finished. Let's wait for all command to get finished. So guys, now you can see my system has been built successfully and all command is finished successfully. Now I will bring my server up in the debug mode. So for that I will fire this command hybris server dot bad debug command. So guys, this will take again some time to bring my server up. So let's wait for the server to come up. This will also take around 15 minutes to server to come up. So let's wait for the server to come up. Then we will perform the system update by selecting the update running system option. So guys, you can see now my server is up. So what I will do, I will open the HSC and then I will just perform the system update. So I am opening the HSC and then I will perform the system update. I am logging into HSC with credentials admin and password as Nimda, right? So this is what we have to do. I am going to platform and then I will go to update. You can see now I am in the update, and over here guys I will just select this update running system so that the corresponding schema get updated. So I will just uncheck all these options. I will just uncheck all these options, right? And then I will simply perform the system update. So this is what I have to do. I am performing the system update. As you can see in the backend as well, system update has been started. So this will take some time to get finished. So once the system update get finished, then guys we will see that whether in our functionality, like when the cart total exceeds to 200, right, at that time our functionality is basically will trigger, as I already told you, like when this cart page controller, in the cart page controller, over here in the cart page controller, we have written our logic, like if my cart total is greater than 200, right, and then I'm basically calling this event, and when this event will call, we will be basically calling a listener, right, that listener will automatically listen this, and in this listener, guys, we are basically, you can see over here in this on-site event, we are creating a business process, and plus we are reading a file, this email attachment or text file, whatever the content written inside this file we are reading, right, and then we are just setting that, we are converting this data into stream, and then we are basically converting this into email attachment model using this out of box create email service dot create email attachment. As you can see, this is the already out of box functionality provided by the Hybris. Over here we are, where you can see this is the out of box functionality provided by the Hybris, right? So over here we will get the email attachment model, and then we are just setting this attachment object over here, right? So this is the, this is what the flow is. And then, guys, what we will do, over here you can see we do have, when we start this process, in this Hybris Tube email process.xml, we have generate email action, the first action, right, and this is the generate email action. In this generate get email generation service, right, in this generate method, we are basically using the business process model dot get attachment, which we had set in our listener, right. Over there we are basically setting the attachment, right, as you can see, in the default email generation service dot generate method, you can see over here we are using the concept, right. So this is the overridden class we have created, right. This, the rest of the flow will be same as we discussed in our chapter 28. We will be creating our context class, VM files, and then there should be a mapping between the VM context template that we have already discussed, but still I will provide you all the relevant files to create this functionalities. Currently we are waiting for the system update to get finished. This will take some time to get finished, then we will check our or test our functionality. So guys, now you can see system update has been finished successfully. It has taken almost 24 minutes in my system, and as you can see in the HC as well, system update has been finished successfully. Now, firstly, what we will do before enabling the debug point, let's test whether our functionality is working correctly or not. I will open the training storefront. You can see I'm already in the training storefront. I have just refreshed the training storefront, and you can see in my training storefront, I have already added items which exceeds greater than £100, right? And this is the my inbox, right? And you can see I have logged in with the same user with the same email ID, right? And so what I will do, I will just go to the cart page, and once I go to the cart page, I should receive one email, right? Like my card total is greater than £100, and I should be eligible. My card should be eligible for a gold card, right? I should get this message. So I'm going to check out, right? And I should get one attachment as well, and once I click on the checkout button, I should land into the cart page, and in the backend you will see that there should be one log for email generation. The log should come for the generate email action. You can see email message has been generated. Now there should be one more log like sending email to my email ID. All these things you can see this has also been generated. It means the email has been sent to this email ID. So let's try to refresh my Gmail account. Now I should get one email with attachment as well. The attachment which we placed over this location. The same content should be present in our email ID as well. So you can see this was the content. So what I will do, I will just go to my inbox and then I will just try to refresh this. Guys, you can see from my inbox as well, I have received this mail at 8:22. You can see this is the email I have received, right? This was the same content which we have added in our VM file, right? And this is the attachment we had added, right? This is the same attachment which we have created in our local file. The same data is present, right? And just check one more thing. If I can just close this, you can see the name of the attachment, hybris tube underscore email attachment underscore func, and then there is a system type, right? The same thing we have added in our hybris tube attachment, in our listener class. You can see this is the listener class and this is the same name we have created, right? So this is the same name which is appearing over here. I hope guys this is clear to you. Now I am enabling the debug point, and before that I just want to show you, like, in my inbox this mail is there, right? And you can see in the sent items as well, this is my sent item because this is the account from which I sent this email to this account. And you can see in the sent item as well at 8:22 this email was sent, right? Now I'm just enabling the debug point. This will take some time, then we will see or inspect like how the flow is working, right? So guys, now my debug points are enabled. So what I will do, I will just go to my cart page again. So I will just click over here. So what I will do, I will just guys click on this checkout button, and once I click on the checkout button, you will see that I will go on the cart page controller. As you can see, I am in this show cart API. Over here guys, I will be calling this Hybris Tube email event, and once this event is called, automatically listeners will listen this event, and I will be basically moving to the listener class. As you can see, now I am in the listener class, right? Over here guys, we will be basically creating the business process, and then over here guys, we will be basically reading the file which I have placed in my local system. You can see over here I'm just reading this file, and then guys, over here I will be creating the attachment. Once the file is read and everything is done, over here you can see we have read the data, right? And then over here I'm setting the attachment and I'm saving this over here at this point, and then I'm starting the process. So you can see, like, I have set the object hybris tube email process model dot set attachment. This attachment object I have set over here, right? Then I'm just saving this business process model. This one I am just saving this over here at line number 1112. I am doing this, right? And then in the get business process service dot start process method, we will be basically starting the process. And once we are starting, we will be basically following the hybris to email process dot xml, this one. Over here guys, you can see the first action is generate hybris tube email action. This email action, generate email action, the flow should come into the generate email action. Once I click on the start process, you can see the flow will be coming into the generate email action. Right now I am in the generate email action. Over here we are doing basically multiple things, right? So my main thing is I should come on the get email generation service dot generate, right? Ideally it should come into this method default email generation service, but we have written a overridden API, right? So let's see how it goes. You can see I'm at this step, right? I am at this step. Then what I will do, I will just go to the next, and you will see that now my flow is coming to my overridden API generate. So it has not come over here in this generate method, but it has come into my overridden class, right? So you can see over here we have generated the message, and then we are basically calling over here super method. That is why it is coming into default email generation service, but then we are setting the attachment and everything. Over here you can see we are setting the attachment. We are just picking from the business process model, and then we are setting the this into email message, and then we are just saving this. You can see over here it has come over here. Everything is getting set over here in default email generation service, and then it go back to the context class. Then it basically sets everything over here, right? And then this is the these things after set, then we are just setting all these things, and then set attachment and everything is done, right? We are returning the email message. You can see we are returning the email message over here, right? And then we will, you can see we are over here. I will just skip this portion, but I hope it is clear to you how a whole flow is working. You can see now the second action should be send email. That action will basically send the email to the customer, and you can see in the backend this log has get printed, right? Guys, I hope now you understand the flow. So guys, this is all about Hybris sending email with attachment. I hope this video was informative for you, and I hope you like this video. And guys, if you like this video, do share this with your friends. Thank you for watching. Bye.